Good evening. I'm Jennifer Walsh, and I'm Dean of the College of Environmental Design at UC Berkeley. And I want to welcome everyone to this evening's Art and Design Monday lecture. A&D Mondays are co-curated by over a dozen different departments and research centers on the Berkeley campus, and the College of Environmental Design is proud to be part of that list. This year's theme is public reassembly, which I think is fitting for our speaker this evening, the acclaimed Spanish architect Carme Pinós. It's really an incredible pleasure for me to welcome and introduce Carme, who was awarded the 2016 Berkeley Rupp Prize and Professorship. Because her studio is in such high demand, it took her a while to arrange her period of visit here at Berkeley, but it's certainly been worth the wait. And she has done an incredible job of coming to Berkeley in between trips to Australia and Paris and Barcelona and Mexico. So if she doesn't know what time it is, we'll forgive her. After gaining worldwide recognition for her work with Enrique Miralles, Carme established her Barcelona-based practice, Estudio Carme Pinós, in 1991. Her highly original practice is focused a lot on public architecture, social housing projects, educational facilities, museums, and the design of urban public spaces, as well as she's also designed commercial buildings. Her major works include a variety of projects in Barcelona, including the metro station Zone Universitaria, Igualada Crematorium, Garduña Square, adjacent housing, the Massana Fine Arts School, and a west facade of the Boqueria Market in the historic core of the city. Elsewhere in Spain, Carme has designed major projects in Alicante, such as the Juan Aparicio waterfront in Torrevieja, and a pedestrian bridge in Petrer. In Mallorca, the Ses Estaciones Park and España Square. In Zaragoza, the CaixaForum Museum, Auditorium, and Cultural Center, which you're going to see this evening. And in addition, Carme has been very active outside of Spain, designing both the Torre and the Torre 2, or Cube and Cube 2, in Guadalajara, which you'll also see this evening, the Nivole housing complex in Florence, the departments building in the Vienna University of Economics and Business, and the master plan and public housing project for the historic center of Saint-Dizier in France. Most recently, Carme was selected to design the 5th MP Pavilion in Melbourne's Queen Victoria Park. Not surprisingly, Carme's work has been the focus of many international exhibits, and her models have been acquired by MoMA in New York and the Pompidou Center in Paris. And she's garnered many, many awards, almost too many from Spain to enumerate, but in general, worldwide, they include the Gaudí Gresol Award in 2008, the International Award for Women in Architecture in 2017, the Neutro Award for Professional Excellence in 2016, the Schorsch Award in 2014 for her Vienna University project, the National Award for Public Architecture in 2008 from the Catalan Department of Culture. Now, all of these accomplishments are incredibly impressive, but the work itself is really in a class of its own. One gets a clue to understanding Carme's work by looking at the geometric sketches of her projects. Her use of form is striking and illustrative of how her spatial imagination works to create novel shapes, juxtapositions, and sinuous connections, always, as she will be quick to tell you, rooted primarily and first in questions of structure. For these sketches emerge sculptural buildings, often with complex engineering and new materials, to create iconic landmarks. At the same time, her sensitivity to place and community is revealed not only in the types of projects she elects to undertake, such as social housing, but in the ways she weaves connections between buildings and public space, always sensitive to context and aiming to contribute to the livability of cities and urban life. But you shouldn't take my word for it. I'm just a city planner. So you might instead hear what famed Spanish architect Rafael Moneo, how he describes her work. He says the work of Carme Pinós is known for a close relationship with its immediate environment. Her sculptural forms, sinuous lines and walls, teetering planes, inviting arches and containers are derived from a poetic use of materials and from the history and patterns of human presence on the site. Pinós' architecture of overlay is evident in her design process. Her unique models and drawings are complex compositions that reinforce the multifaceted quality of her design. Or you could listen to Naomi Milgram, who established the M Pavilion project in Melbourne, and in announcing Carme's selection for this M Pavilion project, which is a temporary project which houses, in many ways, the cultural life of Melbourne. She says, Carme's remarkable work honors the responsibility of architecture to serve a community by creating spaces that place human experience and environment at the center of her designs. Her approach to architecture, social housing, and community reflects an ongoing desire to stimulate debate about the role of design and architecture in building and creative and equitable cities and communities. Now, as I mentioned at the outset, Carme was awarded the 2016 Berkeley Rep Prize and Professorship. This prize and professorship was established at Berkeley with a bequest from CED alumna Sigrid Rupp, a widely recognized Bay Area architect deeply committed to gender equity in the profession of architecture. Sigrid sought to create a prize that will allow awardees to have something of a sabbatical, take time for reflection, and to recharge their creative batteries. I don't think any of our winners have really been lounging around, however. They've been extremely busy doing, working with their practice as well as teaching. The Berkeley Rep Prize is awarded to outstanding architects, whether in practice or academia, who have contributed to gender equity in architecture and whose work is guided by values of community and sustainability. And I think from my description and the words of others that describe Carme's work, you can see why the nominating committee and the selection committee made this award. This semester, as the Berkeley Rupp professor, Carme has been teaching a graduate design studio to a few lucky architecture students who are being strongly encouraged to spend more hours in the studio. So that's the professorship part. But what about the prize? Well, of course, there's a major purse associated with the Berkeley Rupp, but while most architecture prizes have traditional medals that you could hang around your neck, for example, Berkeley is not known for its faithful adherence to this type of tradition. So, no medal. Sorry, Carme, no medal. Instead, in the spirit of innovative design and craft, we present those awarded the Berkeley Rupp Prize an object designed by Associate Professor of Architecture Ron Rael here at Berkeley, and the co-principal of his firm Emerging Objects, Virginia Sanfratello. So, Carme, this is an object made from humble materials, but with a lot of thought and care and design intent, and I would like to present it to you.
Wow. Wow.
There's something inside. It's a box, a 3D printed box.
Wow. Funny.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. It's a sculpture.
It's a sculpture.
Good. Beautiful.
And it's all one piece of material.
It's ceramic.
It's ceramic.
Good.
Yes.
Great.
Congratulations. Beautiful. Please join me in welcoming Carme Pinós.
The first part of the lecture is to talk about city. The second part of the lecture, I'm going to talk about structure. I'm going to tell how a conceptual structure develop 4 projects, and how the building take shape through the structure. It's only an expression of a structure, no? I focus in the structure also. I don't know, I don't see no my students. You are here, okay. No? You are going, because no, we are working in a very elemental program, but how important is the structure, no? And how it's important to know the most elemental rule that one a structure work. Because it's not, if you don't know that, it's impossible to be architects. Okay, I start. You see the Barcelona. This is the old city of Barcelona. In the middle of the Ramblas, there is a market, the Vaqueria. It's a very well-known market. But behind the market, for a lot of years, has been a space completely broken. That 10 years ago, they make things. No? It's good, right? This is the Ramblas. This is the market. You see the hall, and the municipality make a competition to make here houses, and here the new school of art. And then after the competition came the commission of ampliation of the market. No, the first thing that I did when I decided, when I had been selected to take part of the commission of the competition, is to study the public spaces in the old city. No, in a way, the old city, all the spaces is the negative of the buildings. The only space with a clear geometry is here is the La Plaza Real, because the rest of here is a church that the church have the articulation of 3 squares, but there are no precise shapes, no regular shapes in the old city, no? Okay, we pass. This is the site before my project, no? And the school that they asked me to put here before was in this old hospital with this garden in the middle. The student feel with a lot of privilege to stay here with this big garden in the middle of the city. And when we start the competition, the professor told me that they was very worried, about to stay in a school very urban and to lose the privilege to have his own exterior space, no? But the school was with a lot of problem of protection for the fire, and now this building is the new library of all Catalonia, no? We can pass. You see the area was terrible in the time. This is the market with this awful building in the middle. You see how was, for the market was an enormous privilege to have in the middle of the city, in the completely center of this old city, to have this enormous space empty for the delivery of the merchandise, no? And here is the place to put the new school, is this part, and here the new houses, no? Is here the school, here the houses, and the only facade that remain is this facade that is the back part of the hospital, awful, but protected. It's not possible to do anything. Okay, we go ahead. I say, not only I start to study the context of the in the globality of the old city, also the perspective of when you move through the old city, how was the perspective, no? For example, here is the view. This is the street of Calle de Carmen. This is a small square, and the view here, no? And I focus in this corner, no? Because this corner was the corner of the new school, no? And I focus here because I thought this point of view was very important. And all these old houses was removed, and now I build the new houses here, no? But preserving this facade, no? Okay, we could pass the next, and I again is from the other part here, from the other street. I show you this street, but the thing that I wanted to say is how I was so worrying about the perspective of the different points of view of the old city, how the perception of the new project, no? We can pass. And this is the point of view that I start the project. For me, was the most important, because this is the corridor that is near the boqueria, in the front of the boqueria, and the competition asked me to build houses facing this corridor. And I say, no, this is the last thing that I want, no? The thing that I want when I walking here is to see the sun at the end. It doesn't matter if the facade that I make is beautiful or not beautiful, but at the end of this passage, never must stop my point of view with a facade, no? And this is the first line that I did, no? And with this line, I make all the project. Go ahead. You see, this is the competition, the lines that offer me the competition, no? You see, this is the passage that I show you, how this passage finish with this facade. I say no. And also how to arrive to this, the square is always through this smaller street, no? I say, and the square with this geometry space facing one building to another. I say, no, I don't want to make another Plaza Real, that the Plaza Real is, we can pass to see the solution. No, in a way, the Plaza Real is what a plaza that was built in the period that the bourgeoisie in Catalonia arrived in a level. The city was still inside the walls, and they wanted to make a square for them, no, for the high level of the society. And they make a square with all the facade equal, no, and looking at center. And I say, no, here is a neighborhood that there are a lot of different societies, young people, old people that have lived all the time here, rich, immigrant. It's a mix, and it's beautiful that. And I want to make a square that express that, no? And I stay a lot of time sitting in a bar that was here, seeing the movement of the people, no, crossing the plaza, and I say, I want to make a project that follow the movement of the people, no disturb the the movement of the people are used to do, no? And you see the facade of the corridor that I show you. This was here, and I continue here, no? And the passage passed underneath. But how I wanted to win the competition, I had to make all the program, no? And if I cut the building here, I had to put this space that I cut, no? All the volume that I cut. And I decided to put the piece that I cut here to make, and I make this movement, no? To create this space, how the addition of a small, like a necklace, no? And this square joined with this space, no? Here again, this is the school, I make it. But you see, and the diagonal, no? That cross the plaza, no? The square, and it's like an addition of different spaces, no? And also you see from here how the corner. Okay, I keep. We pass. Now and now I'm going to explain this project that arrived in the middle of the development of the. I won the competition, and in the process of make the final project, arrived to the commission of the ampliation of the market, no? Okay, we can. This is they asked me to make a facade, and I say I don't want to make a facade because this is not a building. This was this was a square like Plaza Real, never finished, and in a way, provisional way, they make this roof to cover a provisional market, but at the end it became the most important market, but with a very no good structure, no good roof. And I say, and we have a very strong tradition of beautiful market in Barcelona. I say, no, I don't want to transform. If I make here a facade, I'm going to transform this in a building, and I don't want to transform this in a building, no? And they asked me, but they told me, but we have problem. We must close because we have problem with wind, we have problem with the rain, and we have problem with the sun to protect the food, and I say, okay, I'm going to resolve this problem, but with no facade. And I suggest them, I suggest them to follow the market in a more small scale, no? Easier to close, easier to protect the sun. And the first thing that I did is to follow the same structure in a small, no? But what happened when I arrived here, that this building was is awful, and I wanted to put in second line, but following the same structure, when I arrived here, instead to put in second line, I focus, because this seems like a door, no? And I didn't manage until I find the solution to change the structure. We can, instead to make instead to make, because when you make here, you focus in the interior. When you make like that, like an umbrella, you focus outside, no? And then when we can pass, you will see better, no? Here, well, if you follow this structure, when you arrive here, it's like to make a door of this building, no? If I make the umbrella, no, you focus here, and you pass, no? In a way, this this obsession to put the building in the second line with this structure, I got it. We can pass. This is the building, the ampliation of the Boqueria. No, but you see how you focus here, and I resolve the problem of water, enter this structure, is lower, I enter inside, and that permits me also to control the sun, to control the wind, and I resolve the problems with no facade. Is to and also to make the market in a more domestic scale, no more at the measure of the open space of the square, no, and the rules nowadays so difficult, and they ask me to make a structure that must support, I don't know, 1 meter of snow, 10 persons working on the roof, and the wind like an hurricane, and that make these enormous pillars, no? When you see the old structure is so thin, so nothing. And I say that seems that I have commissioned for the iron, no? But it's not. It's the rules. It's the no. And how I manage to make this more not so heavy? You see that is layers, no? I make 2 layers. When you see in front is very thin, and also I have movement and give more the sensation of light, no? We can pass. As is that. We can pass. Now you see that each column is 2 that have this kind of movement. We can pass. Now we jump on the other building. That is the school. Is this. We are going to talk about this. And also we remove here some houses, because it's a very big, I don't know if you know what means 11,000 square meters. I don't know in feet, but it's very big. And it's in the center of the village. And to make this enormous, and I wanted to fix, to be part of the old city. I wanted not to impose. I must say that I resolved, I didn't want to make this square, no, with a clear language, no, it's the square of the studio Carme. No, I didn't want that. Each time I follow a little, I enter in dialogue of the building that I had behind. You see, and I show you, I have shown you the Boqueria, no? That is completely in dialogue with the back part of the Boqueria. When I show you the buildings, the building also enter in dialogue of the housing that have behind. But the only one that I wanted to be something more singular, something more sculptural, is the school. Also because it's an institution. It's the oldest school in Barcelona for art, no? Belong to the municipality. And I say, this must be more singular, more emblematic, no? But again, the solution, because all the project I try to find rules very simple. And you see, we pass. You see, the project, the resolution of the project is very simple. It's 2 L's, no? It's this, it's this and this, with a courtyard in the middle. And like I didn't want to make, to look at the center. Sorry, Jan, can pass back? Okay, back. Here, no? I didn't want to look at the center. I wanted to express dynamism. I wanted to express the different movement. No, I didn't want to make a facade looking at the other, no? And for that reason we pass, okay? Is this, and also because the professor asked me to make a space open air because they have lost the garden, and they say, okay, we don't want an urban school, and to make the students feel that are always in an exterior space. And I say, okay, I make this 2L with this small movement that, no, you will see later, no, that this small movement permit to create this terrace, no, and also give dynamism to the square that is facing, no, and also I have you see this connection between one L and then the other, no, and you see how appear this small movement, no, also how I wanted to appear, we can jump, like more sculptural, and change the scale also because it's so big, and I didn't want to appear like an enormous building. With this small movement, I change the scale because don't say that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floor, but with this small movement and also this terrace, these windows that are not windows, are terrace, is at the end of all each corridor. And we can go back again, no? You see this corridor, one finish here with the terrace, and the other is here. And that permits not to, if I put one terrace over the other, you read very clear 1 floor, 2 floor, but when you, again, Jan, when you put one terrace here, the other, and here I make again another movement, is more abstract way, no? And it is more difficult to read the different floor, no? And then is more sculptural, and you lose a little the scale of the building, no? And also the corner, no? The most point of more tension is this corner. In a way, this corner is the main facade. Is this facade that you can see from the main street, La Calle del Carmen, no? And also, this is the facade that cover all the courtyard that are in the middle. And I decide to make in 2 different skin, no, facade, no, not to appear like an enormous building, no, and also here I move much more free because I have the square in front. I am not with problem with movement, no, but when I arrive on the old city, I be more flat, more quiet, no? I change the scale, also creating this terrace, no? You will see later. We pass, and then this is the ground floor. Also, I create the passage like the other passage in the houses, no? People can enter here and go out here, no? And also, this is the old city, no? The street with in good state, you know, with all the houses well preserved, and I follow the facade, no? Here not. Here I have, because here there is a theater, and I make a small movement to focus the entrance of the theater. You will see later. But also, this is more quiet, and here, that is the facade that covers the courtyard. I make a little behind, no, a little rear, behind, not to be seen from the old city, from the street. And also to create another public space here, and you arrive to the square through one public space with another, no? Well, we can pass. This is the render. I like to show the render because you see that the render and the reality is almost the same. This is the render that we make. This is not the competition. This is a little later, but the competition was more or less. And you see now the reality. We pass. No, you see it's like the render. No, but this is the corner. This corner that you see. We pass. And okay, we had this different level, no, and all the passerelle are not really passerelle, are a stair. But one thing beautiful is from the back part of the building here, you see through this passerelle, the square. This is from the competition. You see, don't appear the. But how the competition and the reality at the end are. This is a drawing in the competition, and it's the project. We are very serious. We can pass, and this is the reality. We decide to cover because for two reasons. No, one we wanted because this is a school full of students here behind this, no, and we didn't want to be like a TV that every people in the square was looking the thing that the students are doing, no, and also for the people of the square also have, in a way, this kind of bristle protect the intimity for both, for the students and for the people that use the square, no? Because the people that use the square, this facade is like a fondo, a background, no? We can pass. Now, this is the bristle. This is proof. It's a ceramica made, handmade, not really, in between. No, it's not a factory. It's a craftsman that have a small factory. No, I say that because it's important, because the color is not equal. Also, they have something that are not perfect. No, I fight a lot to get this professional, because I wanted to offer this quality of handmade, that is not really handmade, but almost. No, because you see, the other part, the gray part, I didn't get to make by the same, and it's made by a factory, and the color is flat, and it's another quality, but it costs the double, no? And we can pass. You see the different colors. You see how that gives another quality. It's more warm, no? For me, it's the quality of the building. It's the best thing in the building, this ceramic. We can pass. And you see the difference when you are in the old city. I don't have a space here. I decide to be more quiet, flat. The window, the holes of the window are smaller, more in relation of the domestic scale that I have behind. We pass. No, this is but you see, and this is made by a factory, no? The color is more flat. Also, they make us a special piece with this kind of lines, are not always equal, no? But the color is more flat. They don't have the quality of the other facade. We can pass. and here. You see how we try to mix, no? You enter at the square underneath of this cantilever, underneath of the cantilever. No, it's more like the old cities, no? That is, everything is mixed, and no big streets, no, more like collage. We pass, huh? Yeah, the facade. We can pass. Yeah, and this is the point, no? And the municipality is going to remove all that and to build a new building facing, because here, but with time, this vision is going to change, because now, and you the space in front of the entrance, no? Or another thing, I decide to enter no facing the square, more facing this part, no? Also to protect the student from the tourists, because here is always full of tourists, and I decide to create this space in this area and create this square for the students. We can pass, and this is the interior, no? And it's like the interior is the opposite. The exterior is completely solid, seems massive, seems something, and the interior is full of light, white, with a lot of movement. We can pass. I try to make colors and also all the vision you can cross all the time. You see in all the direction. No? We can pass. No? And also my preoccupation to protect to the students, no? And this is because in the ground floor a space for expositions, and people from outside can cross the school. And I make, because there are 2 levels, a difference of level, and the cafeteria for the student is protected of the point of view of the people that pass here, in contact with a garden for them. We can pass, and well, you understand, no? And also, for example, I wanted to create this interior space like a street, and you see this is the corridor, but instead to make a fence like here, no? And I create these windows, no? This is window because behind there are classes, there are studios, but in this part is the fence of the corridor, but the treatment of the facade of the is the same, and here I remove, I put to permit enter the light. I change the facade. I make that. Here again, this is corridor, no? And the roof also is another facade, no? And is to appear this like a street. We can pass. This is the cafeteria for the students. We can pass. And the courtyard. And here also this brisole protect the people that live here to the vision of the students. No? We can pass. This is the idea of the roof. Also like another facade. We can pass. We can pass. I made no, sorry, no, this one. Also I make the design of different furniture, and always playing with color and playing how to use this furniture in different ways. I say that more like a chill out. I say chill out because the student can stay sitting. Okay, games. We can pass, and you see, from here, the vision from here is this, no? We can pass. We pass. And the interior, no? This is the brise-soleil, but arrive enough light, you have enough view, but you feel protected of the vision of all the city, no? We can pass. No, you pass. The furniture is all school of arts and craft, and they love a lot of his machines, and they brought me all the old machines. But I feel happy because fit very well. No, all this is old, but seems have been here all the life. We can pass. And pass. ¿Cómo? Ah, vale, pero hay más, ¿no? Now the manzana, and now the last project of this space. That is the housing, no? It's here. Now we are here, no? And also, I explained you that I started the project with the decision to follow the facade, no? And to put, making this leg in the middle, permitting to pass underneath, no? And when I had this inclination facing this corner, and no, with this decision, I start to make the other decision, no? But the first one was that we can pass is the vision. This is the photograph before my project, and we can pass. This is with the project, no? But you see that at the end of this corridor, the thing that you see is light, is sun, is trees, no? And this corridor is an addition of shadow, sun, but no a facade that closed that, no? We can pass, and you see, pass here underneath of this building have another passage. I continue the passage underneath of the building, and I make this project a little with the point of view, with following the movement of the people, and also, for example, this corridor, I had to put all the meters, no? And I had to make this leg big, but I wanted not to block the view when you go out, no? And for that reason, I make here an enormous cantilever to permit the vision of the square when you go out of the passage. We can pass. These two direction is the line that make me take decision. We can pass. This is the model, no? You see the enormous cantilever, no? That permit, don't hide the view and the corridor. No, it's, in a way, it's like to have a stone, and with the movement of people, it's going to sculpt this stone, no? And the building is the result of the different point of view, the different circulation. We can pass. Is this, no? Okay, we can pass. And this is the cantilever. When you go from here, you see you can pass. And this was before our project, and now this is the render. Focus the corner, and you see here, no, for example, the housing, how follow the dimension, the domestic scale of the building that had near, no? Here is more flat with small windows, following the thing that I had behind. And instead, in the contrary, here, because it was an institution, the scale is more big, it's more big scale, no more sculptural. And when arrived to the old city, became the whole smaller and enter in dialogue with the old city that I have here. No, and this drawing is also from the competition. You see that there are not the facade of the Boqueria. We can pass. And this is the construction. It's almost finished. I don't have, because they send me, this is under construction, they send me a photograph to ask things, and it's not the best to explain. But you see a little the corner, no? And how they follow a little the language that I have behind me. Well, this is the past, and this is the reality. Now, we can pass. That's all. No, this is the first part, the lecture, talking about city. And now it's completely another, now is, I try to, 1 hour. Okay, I go quickly. This is singular buildings, all are singular buildings that come from a thought of a structure. We can pass. But always I start the project thinking in the context, no? And this is Puerta de Hierro, is in Guadalajara. They asked me to make a singular building here, but the surrounding was nothing, but I knew that this is going to change. But I didn't have context to enter in dialogue. I expressed the first project how all my decision came from the dialogue that I had with the rest, no? And here I say, okay, I'm going to talk about the weather, and I start to think about weather that is always spring in Guadalajara, and also a reflection of, because this is a tower of offices, and how the people feel when they work, no? And we can pass. This was my reflection, no? Say, before, when the building was slow, no? Always they had a courtyard inside, like the hospital that in La Massana, no? Always, but when the building start to grow up, this courtyard, they full, no? For circulation, for structure, no? And this tower, this old tall building, start to be an expression only of the skin, no? Or shape. But they lose the quality of, first, of the contact with the exterior, because in a tower, the contact with the exterior normally is only the people that have contact with the facade, but most of the people are working with interior spaces, no? And I decide, okay, I want to recuperate the courtyard, and I say, okay, this center I cut in 3 pieces, and I liberate the center, and these 3 pieces is still like here, the structure and the circulation of installation, and these 3 pillars support me the different offices, because the program was here small offices to be sold, no? And we can pass. This is the first sketches that I did. My obsession to give the contact of the exterior for everybody, and I say, okay, through this pillar I can enter here. This can be a corridor, and I have different rooms facing the exterior, and also different another room looking at the courtyard. We can pass, and this is when I had the rule of the structure. I try to find the final shape. No, here I didn't know how to finish to arrive to the earth. They asked me to make a big office with the three pieces together, and I say okay. And now I know how to arrive to the land. I make the big office like the basement and the lobby of the rest over this. We can pass. Maybe here. No, here. No, you see the tree? This is enormous trusses that all these work like a box suspended, and to be higher, and also to give light and vision of this courtyard. I make this enormous terrace here, and you see from here always you have point of view to the exterior. Is not that don't work like a chimney, because always have different points of view. I'm going to explain quickly because I don't have time for everything. I talk too much. I'm with English. I can't go so quick like I like it. But we can pass. We can pass. This is how, no? And the facade, how I wanted to preserve from the sun to create, because the weather is very good here. I create a brise-soleil, and also we can pass, and also I permit to pass through the courtyard, the air in transversal, but also in vertical. No, the brise-soleil is 60 centimeters, 70 centimeters far of the facade in this corridor that permit to pass the air in vertical. This is almost finished. Also here, again, to change the scale. Here is the contrary. It's very small, and I wanted to appear very big. And I rise again the different level. For example, here there are windows because the brise-soleil can move, and the windows are very small and sometimes very low. Sometimes not to erase the lecture of the different floor. And here the different platform, different floor, but with no fence, with no window, and that transform in some decoration of the pillar. We can pass. No, we can pass. This is the terrace, no, and this is the courtyard, but always with terrace, no. Here, we can pass. The interior and the brise-soleil. How you see the brise-soleil, no? But the brise-soleil can move, no? But you realize sometimes it's very height, another look this very low, to change the scale of the perception of the building. We can pass. We pass. Maybe I explain Caixa Forum, and that's all, because it's too much, and maybe I prefer to have questions. Okay. Also because I like also to explain more carefully. And this, I'm going to explain this project that is a cultural center, that the structure also is so important, and it's an interpretation of the structure that I show you. Again, this is the old city of Zaragoza. This was the trusses of the old train. It was the old station was here. It was full of rails, right? But tracks, no? And all this is removed, and it appear a big spaces, no? A big space And my first reflection was that during a lot of years, all this neighborhood that was a worker neighborhood was be separate of the old city. That for us, old city means the best city, through the train. And the master plan we can pass. The master plan was to make a building facing the old city and also with the park behind, but putting out again the neighborhood, the worker neighborhood, no? And I say, okay, I want to make the building like a door, no? To make the connection between the worker city neighborhood with them. And for that reason, the first idea that I had is to put because I must say the program, I don't know if you know the Caixa Forum in Madrid, is the same program. It's 2 rooms for the temporary exhibition, one 400 meter, the other the double. This is the main program, and also lecture rooms, a cafeteria, and an auditorium. But the most important is these 2 rooms. And I say, how I want to be a door, I put the 2 rooms up, and the people can pass underneath, and my building is going to be the connection between the old city and the worker neighborhood, no? But the other reflection that I did, also because when I received the commission to enter in this competition, was a competition, I had a compromise in New York, and I spent some time, a week there, thinking and visiting a lot of museums, and I realized that when you visit an exhibition, you need, after to visit another, you need a space of decompression, no? And to have view out, and to connect a exhibition with another, entering in elevator, and or a closed stair, no? And you visit, I don't know, Paul Klee. You enter an elevator, boom, and you visit Aldo Van Eyck, no? Completely, and I said, no, I want, after an exhibition, view from far, decompression. And my first ideas we can pass was this. This is the first model that I did. No, is the 2 room up to permit to pass, and not one facing one, no, on one over the other, like that. Because how is 6 meters tall, when you go out of the exhibition, underneath of the other, you can see the city. You have this vision too far to enter with a decompression, they say, no? But here I didn't have clear the structure. The only thing that I did, but I studied also the dimension of the exhibition rooms, and I take the dimension, but I decide that in an L work better than in a square, because you have more recorrido. Sorry? Yeah, work area, no? And okay, here there are no towers, but the wall, the towers, no, the columns in Cube 1 here is walls, but also this wall have these boxes in cantilever, no? But this wall, for example, arrived from here, from here to here, and from here to here, and this other wall is the supporting, no? And then make the center, that is the column that support the building, and also support a big trusses in diagonal that is the truss that support the different rooms, no? The exhibition room. And how this wall come from here to here, here I can cut here, like that, no? And again here. And there's these two, this and this, that is the supporting, no? Also I cut, no? And it gives that a sensation, because the thing that you see is these two walls cut, no? And done a sensation of the fragility, no? Also, I look at, because this building is in the middle of the park, and I wanted to offer more sculptural, more like abstract shape. We can pass. This is the structure, no? And the beam and the other, but there are no one pillar, no? Are this enormous beam from the top, hung all the supporting of the other room. You will see later. And the construction of the building was very beautiful, because they built first all the concrete, and then when they start to put the structure, the iron structure, they start from the top and to. It was strange, no? And the people from the city was very didn't understand. They thought it's a museum, seems like a factory, and until the end they didn't understand anything. We can pass, and you see, no? This is the enormous beam that cross, and another that support, and in the middle there are tirantes, no? That hang the. And you see, when you go out of this exhibition room, because this is more than 2 meters, and you see the city underneath. This is model from the competition, and I might say that I say, okay, this building must be the door, but no, a door is a door, no? It's not to pass underneath, no? And I say, I want the people pass underneath of the big volume. But what happened with the small volume, no? Say, I don't want the people pass underneath everywhere, no? And I decided to put a garden, that is this hall, that is a garden that go down and arrive to pick up the people of the auditorium underneath. You can pass, the construction. You see, we start from up to down. We can pass, and you see the walls, no, that cut and give this sensation of fragility, no, more sculptural, no, and also how it was so mathematic, because these two squares, but I had two problems. I had problem for installation. Installation is, yeah, installation, yeah, and because in the square, the cross of the two squares, I had to put everything, and I didn't manage with two things, with the installation and also with the second stair, and I decide to put out the second stair, and to put in between the two walls all the installation. You see, there are no one wall, it's two that make big. Here, a person can manage to enter and control. And also, to make the stair, if this stair arrives to the land, it's a stair. But if this stair don't arrive to the land, seems like a decoration, no? And I decide, when I arrive at a certain level, to cross the wall and to arrive to the land, to the other part. And I cross in this part here and in the other part like that, no? And also change again. Here it's the contrary. It's a very big building, And this is more like a La Massana, big building that I want to appear like something smaller, no? When in the competition, the people of my studio asked me what scale we must do the model. I said, no idea, but I want to appear like a jewelry. I say like that. And we make in inox, and very abstract, also because it responds very well to the program, but also you can see like something very abstract, very sculptural, no? And all the things is to appear like the model, small. And for example, the fence of the stair is so big. This is more than 3 meters. But it seems like a decoration of the wall. No, we can pass. And okay, the structure and the two box, these two square, no. But the lobby is something completely outside of the structure, and changing the direction and to permit to pass underneath of this box, no? That is the door, no? And okay, and when I arrive at, no, we can pass. When we arrive to the cafeteria, because when I was doing the exhibition room, they said me, we want very neutral, nothing must disturb the art. And I say, okay, I make very neutral. But when I arrive at the cafeteria, I make all the structure. You see the structure, and they ask me to make a partition to make the restaurant smaller. I make this guide that is like curtains that transform the restaurant in a smaller, much more free, no? And also the gallery, the exhibition room, I fight a lot. My client don't want it to make at the corner a window. Also because they wanted 2 boxes suspended, no? I say, no, I want to enter in dialogue with the city. I must show in some moment what happened inside. And in the corner, we make like a gallery, a big window, and the people from the city can see sometimes people looking outside. And also, when you are in the exhibition, in a moment, you can go out, see the city, and continue the exhibition. We can pass this window. This is the model that we make for the competition, no? And this is the window in the corner, no? And this is the garden that go down, no? Is this garden, no? Not to permit to pass underneath of this volume, and also to pick up the people that go out from the auditorium. We can pass now quickly. You see, this is the big window, but you realize the different measure. This is enormous. This is almost more than 5 meters. When the contraposition with you see how this looks small, but when you compare with the building that you have behind, you realize how big is that. No, we can pass. We can pass. Yeah, and I must say that you know, the crisis in Spain, and the municipality didn't have money to transform the old park in a park. Also, didn't have money to throw away the old station, and the connection with the park through here doesn't exist. But and I hide the old station with this wall, and that now this is like a square, but it works okay, like a square. In the future, I hope we will have a park behind. We can pass. And the interior, also the structure of the lobby that is completely separate of the structure of the rest of the building. I have this, the roof. I didn't want to support in a static way with a pillar, no? And 2 pillars always is more dynamic, no? And if the 2 pillars is not always the same, no? This inclination is not, and is this pillar instead to support the roof, enter to a skyline, no? Enter to the light, and the natural light that change completely each moment and give a sensation of also the levedad, lightly, more light, and the dynamism, no? And the pillar go into the light, no? This is the skyline, and also much more dynamic. And because the elevator, the stair is behind the ticket place, no? And the pillar help you to find the way. And the stair, the interior, and it seems again like Masana. Outside seems very close, but when you are inside, you have always in somewhere a natural light, and the stair that must be closed, but always with for fire, always with windows that permit to travel to have view from outside inside. We can pass. You see the stair, and in the terrace we plant trees. We can pass. You see how was like that when you arrive at the level of the restaurant. You are on the top of the lecture rooms, and this enormous. This is the cantilever bigger. Is this truss and this one, no? And this is smaller. The truss that I need here is much smaller, but I take advantage of this space to make pots for the trees. Pots, container, earth container, and also installation, no? And also here is installation. It works like a machine. I like it because the geometry is very simple, and the program was not so simple, but in a way every corner have his meaning, no? And work. They are very happy, no? The people that had been a good success, and the people love and take care of the building because it's sculptural. It's a geometry very, in a way, rigid, no? Because it's this square with that. But it work like a machine. We can pass. This is the gallery, no? In the middle exhibition, you can go out, see the city, and enter for the other part. We can pass. And when we are in the bar, you see all the structure is not nice. It's more freedom, you know. And the big beam cross in diagonal of the restaurant, no. And this is the la cortina, the curtain, no. That in a moment, no, you see the lines that transform the restaurant and in a smaller. We can pass. And this is the but again, when you go to underneath that seems that must be very dark. You arrive with the lights that come from the garden that go down. We can pass. This is the auditorium. We can pass, and this is the garden, no, that go underneath of the small volume pick up the people. We can pass. And also, because they asked me to make something singular, and I decide to create light in a way. It's not a building that need light. Is the contrary. It's not illuminate. It's the building that illuminate the city. We can pass. We can pass. But you realize when you see this volume that don't seem so big, but in comparison it's big. I think it's enough. No, because it's too much. But because I like questions, I prefer to receive some questions, my students. No? Yeah, good.
So you showed several hand drawings, and I wondered if you could speak about the relationship between hand sketching and digital representation.
Yeah. I work always with the hand. No, I show you some sketches, real sketches, and also I like to find a simple sketch that permit to respond to the program, and also I work from very of the beginning from the structure, and always my sketches is a sketch of a structure that permit to develop the program. I have in my head the program, not really the shape, but some kind of shape, and I try to find this sketch of a structure that permit to arrive at shape, but always with the hand, always. I work in, but you see how for example, in Cube Uno, the sketch that I present is the real. We are very serious, the real. But I must say that in Caixa Forum, the sketch that I present with, first, I start with this small model. In Caixa Forum, I make the decision to make, the only decision that I make in New York, and I arrived to the studio saying I had only 3 weeks to make all the project. And I arrived with this idea of 2 square with the center solid, and with the idea to make that. And this is the model that we did, the first. And through the model, we arrived to find the structure, but always with the help of the hand. I say to the student, when you work with the hand, you are more connected, the hand and your head. And also because the danger with the computer is you cut it, and then you don't know how you are doing. And when you work on the hand, you must start from the beginning each time. You take a white, and then you start to make the context, the different lines of level, no, the topography, and in the time that you copy the topography, you feel the topography. When you write and you feel and you imagine it much, and in the computer, topography, pim, pim, boom, and you don't feel then. And I say to the student, we must work with the reality. We must imagine what you are doing. And I say, when I say an architect, we must think the architect with the head and drawing with our feet, in the sense that each line, you must follow the line, feel the line, and feel the space. And if you take the time to draw, and it's the contrary, you go much more quickly, because the relation with the head is more directly. and then don't work. Okay, you put something to copy, and you again to the lines, and you start to fill the space. Always by hand, always. And also, the people in my studio, when something don't work, I say, leave the computer, jump to the hand, make in hand. It's to express the concept by hand is much more easier. I have the revendication of the hand. I don't know if you know Richard Sennett. It's amazing. It's also l'artesano, the craftsman, and the revendication of the hand. It's more connection. It's much more easy to make something sensual with the hand, because to make a line is like that in computer. Gesticulation. Boom. You have lost the sensuality. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Pinós. I'm really impressed by your project. My question is about your part 1, the yellow building in the plaza. The yellow ceramic panels are beautiful, but they will create the strip shape shadow for the classroom behind it. Do you think the stripe shape shadow is good for a classroom?
No, there are no, in a way, sorry. No, I have that, yeah. No, in a way, I must say that there are no, the sun is not brise-soleil. It's more a piece that protects the intimity of the students, no? Because if you remember the shape of the piece, when you are in the square, the shape don't permit to see from the top, but from the room, you see the sky and you see, and it's almost not. There are no, in a very few moments of the day, we have lines of sun inside. But at the contrary, the open space is always with lines. And this is beautiful, because the school, each moment is different, because the sun make this arrive but you understand, no? But the sun, like that, this is the main facade, the sun make here and stop. It's almost north. But it's not really a brise-soleil. It's something to protect the intimity. Also, the intimity, how I say, the intimity of the people are in the square. And it's like backstage, no? Back. It's like a, yeah. Normally, there are no, but when you see mira la plaza, hacia atrás, el espacio interior, sí, that is full of lines, in contraposition here. The interior is all, and each moment, because the sun made like that, and in each moment it's with different lines. And the exterior, you see the sun, if it's a great, the different weathers, no? But in the classroom, and also, tira atrás, que vemos la fachada, and in the park, no? You see? This part that is more with shadow, you see that I have this protection. You pass back, más, a ver, las fachadas cuando da la calle. No, más a la tarde, más aquí. No sé, cuando, this. You see? This part that is when the sun, here there are a lot of sun, because the sun start here, it make, here I have this protection, no? You see? And also the library, you see this, is with perforation. Okay, I pass the exam. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough, Carme, for a
Yeah.
spectacular lecture.
Yeah,
Join
no,
me
no.
in appreciation.
Thank you.